So, good day everyone. I am Luisa Yaon and I will be going to discuss to you the story of the safe house. This story is written from the perspective of a young girl and the sacrifices she and her family made to fight against the Marcos government. And this story allows us to see how the martial law was like for the people who fight against it. So who is Sandra Nicole Roldan? So she is a teacher of literature and creative writing at the University of the Philippines in Diliman, Quezon City. And the setting of this story is that the story of the safe house is set in the 1980s. It was around the time when martial law was proclaimed by former President Ferdinand Marcos. The protagonist lives in a house complex for genteel, middle-class men that was a housing project by the First Lady, Imelda Marcos. But before we go through over the story, let me introduce first the characters of this story. So first, the little girl, an innocent child unaware of crises and issues their society face, and the meetings her parents and her relatives or visitors hold. Next, the visitors. In the story, these visitors are mistaken to be the relatives of the little girl, and some are wounded, some are hungry, but all are hiding from the authorities inside the safe house. They are actually the rebels who are against the ways of the former President Marcos. So he is the one who declared the martial law to control various terrorist groups. And next, the mother. She is the woman who is also involved in secret meetings and later runs away because she doesn't want to involve revolutionaries at all. And the last one is the father. So he is one of the people involved in the secret meetings who is later captured and jailed. So the story begins with a description of the scene. So what kind of place is being described? What is exactly the box was mentioned? So the box mentioned here is our main building where all the scenes takes place, or what we call the safe house. And this house is the First Lady's pride and joy. And it is a housing project designed for a gentle middle class living or the people who have a high social status, where there are swimming pool, a clubhouse, or a tennis court. Some of the residents drive a luxury cars and some people walk with purebred dogs. And also this is the safe house where silent cries are poured and wounded are healed and empty stomachs are filled. A refuge or place where the visitors know exactly where and when to turn even in the midst of darkness. Now, next, it is 1982. This is the time where there are the struggles against the life in martial law. And a 5-year-old girl witnessed through her innocent eyes the coming in and out of strangers every night. So, who are these people? So, the girl sees these people as her relatives, even it is not. Then she woke up one night and she hears the voice of the visitors arguing. And there was this man with band-aids and his feet instead of nails, and he wears dark glasses on his eyes. Funny to think about it. And this little girl wondering if the man has a superpowers like laser vision or maybe one-eyed pirate. But this man might went to a tremendous danger. Then she go closer to the wall and she hears the word sundalo, kasama, talahib, and the last word she hears is katawan. The next day, when she comes home from school, she wanted to watch her favorite channel, but the visitors told her to go away, and she did not have the chance to watch her favorite channel. When the President Marcos talking at the television, curses from the visitors are heard like humanda ka, mamatay ka, because people doesn't agree with the martial law he has declared, and that's why they get more angry. Then another year passed and it is now 1983. More and more people or visitors are coming into the house with Sheldon's birthday as cover of their secret meetings. And dusty beer bottles that are never opened are served. But the relatives didn't drink those beer at all, and the laughing game begins. Whoever laughs the loudest will win. But it is just all a game of pretending. Then the little girl noticed her mother mm, crying quietly at the kitchen, murmuring about taxes, bills, revolution, and underground, and that the girl doesn't understand it at all. Soon after, the mother left her for good and never returned. Another year has passed, and it is now 1984. The father got arrested, and everyone was quite witnessing the arrest of her father. But after the soldiers left, murmuring went louder. After that, the siblings live with their grandparents since their mother left them and their father got arrested. And sometimes the girl would come to visit her father at the Camp Crane. Of course, that means the prison cell. One night, she had dreams, a bad dreams, a scary images of what's supposed to be her house. And now she sees her house a scary place. But for her to make things all better again, she painted it with blue, pink, and yellow. It's such a lovely colors through the eyes of a young girl. Then she also painted a sun, moon, and star on the floor. Why? Because she wants to bring light again to her life. And years later, and based on my research, it is 15 years later, the little girl now, the little girl now realizes that the visitors she thought it was her relatives were actually not, because she finally understands that the relatives were revolutionaries and her father is one of them. And at night there are some strangers that needs help, but she still decided to close the door so that what happened before won't happen again. Because she only now wants a simple yet orderly living. So in conclusion, this story is all about the people who are against martial law and how they cope to live with it, and also it highlights how an innocent girl live gets to live through a revolution happening outside the safe house. Eh, And the story reminds us that it is better to live a harmonious and peaceful life rather than defying the government. Instead, we should support it. The innocent girl who grew up in the middle class living was eventually exposed to the lives of grown ups or the old people and their revolutionary attempts against the Philippine government, though she is not though she is not aware of everything they are up to. And that's all. Thank you.